The healing starts in your heart. Ram Dass once said, "The heart opens when the mind is quiet enough to hear what the soul has been saying all along." There is a kind of tiredness that no amount of sleep touches. It shows up as heaviness behind the eyes, a tightness in the chest, a subtle ache that follows you through your day. Not depression, not burnout, just something inside you whispering, "I've been holding too much for too long." You don't talk about this kind of exhaustion. It's not the sort that gets sympathy. It's the kind that comes from caring deeply, from absorbing more than your body knows how to carry, from waking each morning already a little weary because your heart has been working overtime in ways no one sees. But most people think they're tired from the tasks of life. But what really drains us is the emotional weight we accumulate silently. The conversations we rehearse but never say. The griefs we set aside but never resolve. The responsibilities we accept without noticing the cost. The subtle, constant effort to stay okay in a world that rarely slows down enough for anyone to actually be okay. Your heart gets tired because it never stops listening. Even when you tell yourself to toughen up or push through, your heart hears everything. It feels what you ignore. It carries what your mind dismisses. It holds what your body compresses. That's why the healing begins not with action, but with honesty. The moment you stop pretending you're fine is the moment you give your heart room to breathe again. You feel the weight for what it is. Not a flaw, not a failure, just a long accumulation of unspoken tenderness. If you place your hand on your chest right now, you can feel your heart answering you. Not with words, but with warmth, with presence, with the truth that you haven't abandoned it, even though you've forgotten to listen. This is where the journey deepens, not by becoming stronger, but by becoming gentler with yourself. Not by powering through, but by pausing long enough to hear what your heart has been saying beneath all the noise. Please, let me rest for a moment. Please, let me be real. Please, stop carrying what isn't yours. And if you listen quietly enough, you'll sense it. That small but unmistakable shift inside you. The heart opening just a little now that the mind has finally stepped aside. And this is the threshold, the place where a tired heart begins to soften, and the real teaching begins. If you pause here, you can feel something waiting to rise in the silence that follows. A tired heart doesn't need solutions, it needs space. Space to breathe, space to feel, space to be exactly what it is without being rushed toward better. When you give your heart that space, the heaviness you've been carrying starts to separate. Not all at once, not dramatically, but gently, the way mist dissolves when the sun finally appears. Ram Dass said that most suffering comes from identification. We merge with our thoughts, our fears, our roles, our responsibilities, And we forget that the heart is larger than any of them. We forget that awareness is the sky, and the heartache is only a passing cloud. The more you sit with your heart, the more you see this clearly. You begin to feel where the exhaustion actually comes from. The parts of your life you've been carrying alone, the emotions you never admitted, the expectations you inherited rather than chose. The heart becomes tired not from feeling, but from being forced to feel in isolation. Once you bring your awareness close, the heart stops feeling alone, and slowly, softly, it begins to open again. At first, the opening feels fragile. A deeper breath than usual. A warmth that wasn't there yesterday. A moment of tenderness you didn't expect, but that's how it always begins, with small, soft places that widen over time. What matters is not how big the opening is. What matters is that you stop shutting it. And as you continue to listen, you discover that the heart doesn't just want rest. It wants truth. It wants rhythm. It wants to beat in pace with a life that doesn't force it into corners or cages. It wants presence more than productivity, and it wants permission more than perfection. Your tiredness isn't a sign that something is wrong. It's a sign that something real is emerging. The heart is telling you the truth that you cannot live divided, the truth that you cannot keep performing strength, the truth that you cannot keep carrying yourself from the mind alone. A tired heart is a heart ready to be healed. And if you keep listening, softly, patiently, bravely, you'll notice that the tiredness gradually turns into something else. Not energy, not excitement, something quieter, something deeper. A sense of being held by your own presence, the way a child is held by someone who has finally come home after a long time away. This is the real work. Not becoming more, but becoming real. Not rising above the heart, but returning to it. Your heart is tired because it has waited a long time for you to arrive. Now you are here, and everything begins again. This is from Meditate with Ram Dass on Substack. The link will be in the description. Thank you for listening, friends, beloveds. I hope that you have a blessed week and a beautiful day. Love and light to each one of you and to us all. Peace.